Hello and welcome in France. Welcome in Lyon for the Silver EuroLeague men. This is the first international competition 2025 from Paravolley Europe. It's here in France with 6 teams playing this weekend in Lyon, and I'm happy to welcome an expert with you whole weekend.
Yeah, I look forward for this tournament.
You will see 6 different teams coming from 6 different countries, with the local team Azul Lyon hosting this event. Well, they will play in a round-robin phase, like 5 games, one time against each other. And at the end of the weekend, on Sunday afternoon, we will have the final ranking. The first 2 teams will accede to the Golden EuroLeague, and then there will be some calculation to be done with Pool A, because the third team, the best of the third team, will also qualify for this Golden EuroLeague. That's something we'll see a bit later in the calculation. The first game that is interesting us is on court number 1. 2 courts will be playing. In the meantime, we'll be focusing on course number 1, and the first game features the Sittingbox Volleyball Club from Great Britain, with some very good players playing for the Great Britain national team. And on the other side, with the traditional yellow jerseys, we'll have KYIV from Ukraine, with a lot of players who competed in the previous Paralympic Games that was last summer in Paris. You can see today's schedule, a lot of games. All teams will play 2 games today for this first day of Friday, and we will start with Sittingbox against Kiev, and in the meantime, like 15 minutes later on court number 2, you will have Sarajevo versus Beograd, something you can also follow on Paravolley Europe YouTube channel. It's just on another video that you can follow the action on court number 2. Let's talk about this game between, well, a strong Ukrainian side. We have to say, all these guys, I mean, most of them, exactly 7 of them competed in the last Paralympics, which means, Sofia, those are very experienced players. They know a lot about sitting volleyball.
Exactly, and at a high level, with the speed, with the height that you can meet at this level. So yeah, we are really looking forward to a great game here.
Yeah, and for the French fans following us, you know how much those Paralympics were important for the French teams, how much they improved playing against the best teams in the world. On the other side of the net, we also have like a team with experienced players. I told you, like 3 of them are in the starting 6 of the Great Britain team, starting with captain John Munro, who is leading this team from the backs. Robert Richardson is the captain of Great Britain, and Kevin Tan with his number 10. Those are 3 major players from Great Britain. They built the team around London 2012. Then it decreased a bit, but they're coming back. They were fighting in Turkey at the end of November when it came to the European Championship B. Those are also very experienced players, and it's something you absolutely need in a discipline like sitting volleyball. Experience is the key. Both teams are currently warming up. You can see the roster from this Ukrainian side, with the captain Denis Bitchenko. He was also the captain for Ukraine at the Paralympics. And then around him, like Alexander Drapak, Oleksiy Karmalov, Yuri Kovalchuk, they were all part of the Paralympic Games. Prishepa brother Andriy and Roman and Andriy Sikalski, well, they did not reach the semi-final in Paris last summer, but they are for sure very experienced players, because they reached the qualification in the top 8 teams competing in Paris, in North Paris Arena, a couple of months ago. Sittingbox Volleyball Club, led by the captain John Munro, number 3 outside hitter, and one of the most experienced players, Robert Richardson, playing as a setter. Well, that's also something we have to say. The role of the setter is a bit different in sitting volleyball. We will maybe see some teams playing with 2 setters to avoid too many movements on court, but still, this role of the setter is very important to put the spikers in the best condition.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, the difficulty with sitting volleyballs is all these switches that you need to do on the court, where you have a little place to do it and a little time. So, but definitely, when you have a good setter, you can speed up the game, and with tall players, you can definitely make the difference.
We will also have to go through the different regarding rulings between volleyball and sitting volleyball. I know a lot of you are often connected with us here on the Paravolley Europe channel, but to remind what the big difference is. I mean, I know what the biggest difference is, but for you, Sofia, what's the biggest difference between indoor volleyball and sitting volleyball?
Biggest difference. The fact that you can block the serve makes the serve very different tactically, and also how you will receive, how you will place yourself. Then also the difference is how you can move. You have other players also taking some places, and sometimes, as I said, when you need to switch a position, it's kind of tricky. Sometimes you just step on the feet, on the legs of your other team players. But I would say the main difference is this one.
Yeah, being able to block the serve is something very special you have to deal with. So don't worry if you see some serve getting blocked. It's absolutely allowed in sitting volleyball. We will add this specific rule directly related to sitting volleyball. It's what we call lifting at all time. You have to keep contact with the floor when playing the ball. At some point on some special dig, we can have some tolerance on this contact with the floor, but most of the time, basically the rule is very easy. You have to keep contact with the floor at all time. Just a short view on court number 2, where Sarajevo will take on Belgrade. The game will start at 1:15. Of course, we will give you some updates on this game too in between the sets. They only traveled with 6 players. Those are teams you will see later also on court number 1. We have a great schedule to come. At 3:30, Parma will take on home Seoul, Lyon, and then at 7:15 later today, Belgrade will be on this court number 1, also against Lyon, that we will see 2 times. They are playing at home. They have this advantage to play on court number 1. Both teams are serving, a lot of options on the bench for Ukraine. As we mentioned, a lot of very experienced players. They didn't play in last year's competition, but they are here, one of the favorite team to win this group. And yeah, one more time to give you the context of this pool stage that's going to be played here. You have to reach one of the 2 first spots to qualify for the Golden EuroLeague, which will be held in Voiron, like only 1 hour driving far away from here, next April. A key moment for the coaches, the 2 head coaches, Seri Ovcharuk for Ukraine and Stefan Smith, coach and player for Great Britain, deciding who will be the starting 6. It's always very important to start well a competition. Of course, it's a long weekend of sitting volleyball, 5 games for each team, but the first one is always very special. You want to come strong in the competition.
Exactly. You want to enter into the competition physically, mentally. You also want to show to the other team how great is your team and how prepared it is. So yeah, definitely. It's important.
For international game, we need international referees. Here is the first referee of this first game from Slovakia, Fedor Tirsal, and he will be assisted by a local referee from France, Lauriane Meunier-Cadieux. 6 different referees travel here to Lyon to officiate in this Silver EuroLeague. You will discover them. They are, of course, very experienced referees. Here is the second referee from France, and I will have the honor to launch this competition here on court number 1 with these games between Sitting Bucks Volleyball Club from Great Britain and KYIV Ukraine Volleyball Club.
So I hope people are joining slowly online, and we are seeing also children arriving in the room.
Yeah, that's nice to see school kids. Of course, it's Friday. It's better to be here in the venue than at school learning some, I don't know, mathematics or something on Friday afternoon. And for most of them, it's maybe the first time they will discover sitting volleyball, which is actually like a very cool discipline, very inclusive one, and it's always cool when kids are coming to watch.
Definitely, and they will learn a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, as we always mention when we talk about sitting volleyball, how inclusive it is. You can play different generations together, kids, adults, grown-ups. You can play girls with boys, men with women, no worry. You can play mixed 6 against 6, 4 against 4. Like, it's the most inclusive one, and we discussed it with Jocelyn Trichet, the captain from Lyon, just before. It's a discipline. You don't need a lot. You just put any sports dress on and you sit on the floor. You don't need any like special wheelchair or something to go to play this sport, which is like an exception in parasport.
Definitely. And what I really love is that once you're on the floor, you don't see any difference. Whoever has one leg, two legs, or no legs, we don't see anything. We are just playing and just enjoying.
Yeah, that's the key. Also, disabled people with non-disabled people can play together, and it will be the case this week because the rules are very easy. You need to have 2 vs1 player on court to make it very easy, because it's never easy to go through classification. We use VS1, VS2 in sitting volleyball. VS1 is a player with a big disability, and you need 2 of them on court at all time.
Yeah.
Some teams will not have a lot of choice because they only have 2 vs1 in the roster. It's the case for the Great Britain team, I mean the team from the sitting backs. John Munro and Robert Richardson are the only 2 VS1 classified in the team, which means the whole weekend they will be on court at all time, otherwise the team is not allowed to play. It's like outside of the rules.
Yeah. We see the team now cheering each other before starting the game.
Yeah, the traditional handshake, these players know each other, they play in club competition, they also play with their national team against each other. And the introduction of the 2 international referees, Fedor Tirsel from Slovakia, we mentioned it. And the second referee from France, Loriane Meunier-Cadieux. The starting 6. And we go first with team KYIV Ukraine, number 4, Andrei Sikalski. Number 11, Alexander Drapak. He was not sure he would be able to travel to France. He was added to the list very lately, but he's an experienced player, born in 1981. He was part of the Paralympic Games. Number 17, Alexei Kharlamov. Number 8, Roman Prishepa. Number 6, Ivan Podik, young player born in 1996. And the captain, number 5, Denis Bitchenko. While 5 of the 6 Ukrainian players were part of the Paralympic Games. 6 if you add the libero that just came on court, Yuri Kovalchuk. 6 of the 7 players were in Paris. And let's meet team Sitting Backs Volleyball Club from Great Britain. Ben Hall, Kevin Tan, Paul Jeffrey, John Munro, Robert Richardson. And I was missing number 8, Michael Knight, who is also written as assistant coach on the game sheet. And the first serve of this Silver EuroLeague will be for the team coming from Great Britain, for the Sitting Backs Volleyball Club, and for Paul Jeffrey.
So for those who are new to sitting volleyball, so you have 6 players, 6 against 6. You, instead of having a line at 3 meters, you have the line at 2 meters to have the back line being able to attack.
Yeah, that's the same. You can also spike from behind the line if you're sitting on the back line, but of course with the net height it makes sense to have a line like closer to the net. It's only 2 meters. We have to be careful not to talk about the 3 meter line, but the 2 meter line.
Yeah, need to change.
First serve for the team from Great Britain. Good reception. The set in position for a great dig by Sitting Backs. And this first point is for KYIV and for Alexei Kharlamov.
So you will now see on the front line in the British team placing the block. Great serve.
Yeah, good serve by Karlama of the reception. Not able to bring this one back to control it properly. And that's a 2-0 lead for Ukraine. One ball was missing somewhere. 2-0 for Kyiv. Kevin Tan strong in the block. Great action. The captain from Kyiv, Ukraine is really tall. Denis Bitchenko, he's sitting there in position 4. And he's a tall blocker. There is some kind of mismatch with Kevin Tan, number 10 from the box. If the scorers are ready, we are ready. 3-0 for Kyiv. And one more time, this ball stays on the British side. Oh, but the point is for the Bucks. A net fault whistled against Roman Priscepa. Kevin Tan to serve with his left arm. Good block. Ben Hall for the sitting Bucks. And that's the second serve in a row for Kevin Tan. The libero for the set. And this ball touched the antenna, point for Kyiv. This antenna is the stick that you can see, white and red. The third dimension if you take the sideline of the court. Good set, Richardson with the tip. And that's enough to score a third point for the Bucks.
So something that is very different from standing volleyball and sitting volleyball is that moving forward in sitting volleyball is more complicated than moving backward. So usually players will come quite in the front, almost at the line, 2 meters line, and then go back to get the balls. And this is really different from a standing volleyball, where usually you go quite back, be able to dig and to keep the ball.
Yeah, before you try sitting volleyball, you have no idea how difficult it is to move on court, what quality it requires in terms of abs and stuff. One difference, Sofia, between the two teams also is that the team from Kyiv is playing with a libero that you can see with the navy blue jersey. The team from the Bucks decided to play without libero. The rule is the same. The libero can only come on the back line, more for defensive reception tasks.
Yeah.
Another point for Kyiv, Ukraine, 5-4. Tactical serve on John Munro. And that's a great conclusion by the captain, Denis Bitchenko.
Very good set. So we see the middle blocker couldn't come and close the block. So the diagonal was completely open there.
Good cover. This one is a tough one. New opportunity for the Bucks. A great block. And the point for Alexander Drapak. Reception is too long from Paul Jeffrey. Oh, Kevin Tan completely mishits that one. He's sitting on the back line, so he had to stay behind this 2 meter line. Completely misorientated his left hand. And for the moment, the British reception is struggling. Tough for Paul Jeffrey to find the solution on Ivan Podic's serve. The serve is not really aggressive, but just like completely in the right area, and they're adapting with 4 guys receiving now. And he had to change the landing zone, and this one was out of bounds. But the lead is here for Kyiv, Ukraine, 10-5. Miscommunication on the Ukrainian side, and that's double touch whistle by Fedor Tirsol.
So So the fact that we can block the serve also sometimes is more disturbing when you are receiving. So you can see here that the Ukrainian team don't even block. They just place all the receivers.
Richardson for Kevin Tan. Good dig, Ukraine. Bitchenko. Great dig. Lucky one for the backs, but the point is for the team in grey. Yeah, and for the server, you have to deal with the block. Either serve over the block or in between the blockers, but it's not easy to find the right space in the opposite block. (11-7) for Ukraine. Good block one more time. Second dig by the backs, but this spike is just too strong from Alexei Harlamov. Through the middle, the connection between Richardson and Munro, not enough to score. But these two guys know each other perfectly. They're playing for a long time together. Especially with the Great Britain jersey. And the last time they were together was in Burdur in Turkey when they played European Championship B, not succeeding to qualify for the A division, but having some really decent competition.
As for standing volleyball, everything starts from the serve and reception.
Yeah, there is this game into the game between servers and receivers. And for the moment, the back's reception is a bit struggling. That's the reason why there is a 6 points difference in this first set. Kevin Tan successfully spiking that one, even if Drapak was well positioned at the net. Richardson serving on the line. Sikalski not able to conclude it. At this time, Karlamov on Kevin Tan finds some block out.
Experienced people here.
Yeah, that's not something you do the first time you play setting volleyball. This reception is good. Richardson back set for Munro. What a great blocking action by Drapak. No, Harlamov was sitting there with number 17, sorry. He's for the moment one of the players we see the most on court. And that's an ace for KYIV Ukraine. Scored by Andrei Sikalski. And the first time out of this competition, 16 for KYIV Ukraine, 9 for the backs. As you mentioned, Sofia, for the moment, the receivers from the backs are not able to receive correctly the serve, not able to put the setter in a good position, and for sure not the spikers in a good one. But of course, this Ukrainian side is also serving really strong, really hard, and in the right area.
Yeah, definitely. We see they have some chances when they try to spike from the back, as you have more visibility on the court, and you suffer less from the height of the blockers. We'll see how they adapt now.
Yeah, let's see if this timeout called by the head coach Stefan Smith can change anything in this first set. It's not even 16-9, it's 17-9. The scoreboard just changed. And we will be again with Sikalski. Reception is good. At the spike behind the 2-meter line, but once again, the blocker from KYIV just perfectly positioned in position 3. Sikalski changing his target on Kevin Tan. Drapak the one-hand set, and the conclusion by captain Denis Bitchenko, sitting on the back line and scoring this 18th point for KYIV. Richardson from Munro. Was there any touch? No touch. The point is for the man in yellow. Kevin Tan for the reception. Richardson giving a free ball to Ukraine, but Dropak is struggling in this second contact. Wow, lucky set from position 2 to 4.
Yeah, sometimes the setter's on the right, sometimes in the middle, and miscommunication makes lose the ball.
And that's another point for Ukraine, now leading 22-9. Oh, the blocking attempt on the serve, not enough from Monroe. And Dropak spiking this one hard to give a 23rd point to Kyiv. Great serve. He was aiming deep to position 5. And this ball stays on the Bucks side. And this will be a first set point for Kyiv, 24-9. Monroe for the set. Kevin Tan. It's almost like a free ball.
Perfect ball, yeah.
Yeah, this set was awesome. And the conclusion in this first set for Roman Prishchepa. So now it's written 25-9. Yes, of course, the set is over. It was set point, yeah. Everyone was a bit struggling and wondering what's going on, but it's indeed the end of this first set, 25-9 for Kyiv.
Very good game in terms of serve for Kyiv. We see that not very strong serves, but very well positioned, very well placed, and really bothering the Bucks.
Yeah, and good variation in the target they were aiming to, so the reception can never adapt. This first set is for Kyiv, Ukraine. Well, of course, this pitch on the British side will probably be on the reception, trying to find a solution to have at least a good first contact to allow then the setter to build something around. But yeah, you mentioned it, Sofia, this balance between the servers and the receivers is the same in sitting volleyball as what we already know in indoor volleyball. We'll give you one more time the schedule for today. We are currently introducing players on court number 2. It's the first game on that court between Sarajevo and Beograd. Later on this court number 1, we'll have Parma, Italian side, against Lyon, the hosting team this weekend. Sarajevo will play again at 5 p.m. against the Bucks, who are taking on Kyiv right now, and the two last game of the day. 7:15 on court number 1, Belgrade against Lyon, and 7:30 Parma taking on Kyiv. And that will be it for the first day of competition here in Lyon. To remind you, if you just joined the action, 6 teams are competing from 6 different countries. They will play one time against each other in a round-robin phase. The 2 first of the final ranking get a ticket for the Golden EuroLeague. Players are preparing for set number 2 with some substitution on both sides in the starting 6 for the Bucks. In comes Colin Goodbrand with number 7, and there is at least one change also on the Ukrainian side. With number 9, Andriy Prishepa coming in. If we take into account the starting 6 that were given from the referees, we'll see this. He's probably out now, replaced by the libero. The good set.
Yeah.
The good block. John Munro, the first point for the Bucks. They would need a good start in this second one if they want to have some higher hopes than in the first one. Second point for the Bucks. And Robert Richardson about to serve for the second time in a row. The one-hand block by Kevin Tan. Not enough to control the ball. Kevin Tan, is there a touch? No block touch, he tried it. But it was just in front of Fedor Tirsel. First referee from Slovakia.
3 spikers on the side of the Bucks. Smart.
Yeah, hitting hard is not always the good solution in sitting volleyball. Sometimes you can find some empty space with some smart tip.
Yeah, and as the moves are more difficult, you can really make the difference if you see the other court.
Well, it already goes so quick that taking a look on the other side of the net is not always easy, but that's exactly what makes a difference between a good player and an experienced, like, world-class player.
What I really found different from standing and sitting volleyball is that when you're standing, you don't have everything on the same
level.
Yeah. When you're sitting volleyball, you have so many information to take, and this makes more difficult to see the spots where to put the ball.
Kevin Tan for the set. Good block from Ukraine, but lucky cover by Kevin Tan. 5 points for the sitting Bucks, 4 for KYIV Ukraine. Paul Jeffrey to serve. Strong spike. Bitchenko in between. Ben holds arms. This ball is called out. Reception is good. Kevin Tan for Hall. Oh, was there a touch by the block? I thought it was the net stopping the ball. Apparently the referee decided there is a touch on the block. The point for the sitting Bucks.
No block, you see no block from the Ukrainian team.
Good fight at the net. Free ball Ukraine through the middle. This one is in. Good swing, Alexander Drapak. Oh, what a conclusion. That was a strong one. Roman Prishepa. You don't want the ball to stay like just floating over the net level with such players in front of you. Kevin Tan through the middle. 3 blockers in front of Hall. Point for the backs. The first round of serve for number 7, Colin Goodbrand, joining the starting 6 for the second set. Derapak. Keith, number 11. Tactical one on Kevin Tan. Munro for the set. Great dig by the captain. Double touch on the Ukrainian side. The point goes for the backs. The backs are still 2 behind, with Ben Hall coming behind the line. Reception is good. Set was smart through the middle, but the block. Awesome block by John Munro. Oh, was it? There's a net fall called. Well, 11 for Kyiv, 8 for the Bucks. Munro, this swing is just under the net level.
Until now, the Bucks received very well. Now they shouldn't leave few points.
Kevin Tan for the cover.
Yeah,
Oh.
out. No.
Apparently there was no touch. And that's one more point for Kyiv Ukraine, 13-8. Kharlamov is really serving well. He already spent a lot of time behind the line in the first one. And that's an additional ace for him. 14-8. And timeout called by Stephen Smith. Yeah, for the moment they cannot find a solution to receive properly. Not only the reception were not perfect to put the setter in the best shape, but on the last one there was also some kind of miscommunication between the players to know who was taking which area. And it's the moment for Stephen Smith to try to find solutions. Of course, the Bucks are led, but only by 6 points. That's also something different. With a serving streak in sitting volleyball, things can go really quick, a lot quicker than in indoor volleyball.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. Now you have a lot of options in sitting volleyball. You can place your block very differently. You can change. You have a lot of more options when you need to switch to change something. So here we see they left a bit more line, but Kyiv is definitely targeting number 7 for reception.
Once again, he's struggling. Kevin Tan is fighting to bring this one back.
Yeah.
Will it come back? Absolutely not. That's another winner for Kharlamov. Well, how good he is serving in Ukraine. The team from Kyiv will make some substitution with Petrenchuk coming in. So that's a big question. He came in with number 7 jersey with Petrenchuk in the back, but on our roster list, number 7 is Mark Primakov, so we'll have to double check this.
Okay. They won the serve.
The Bucks are led by 8 points, 9-17. Robert Richardson Great Britain's captain when he's playing with the national team. The captain today is John Munro. Good solution found on the line for Roman Przyczepa. Well, that was close, but a bit too long from the server from KYIV. Tactical serve by Munro. The set is good. Oh, he completely mishit that ball. That was Andrei Przyczepa. And Munro with a mistake with the serve. Kevin Tan for the set.
Wow, the spike. Wow.
Yeah, that was a good one from
Very
Ben Hall.
good. Yeah. The block wasn't there.
12 for the Bucks, 19 for KYIV. Kharlamov, good spike. The dig is good also from the Bucks. Ball dancing on the net. Just slightly touched by Ben Hall. Make it fall on the Ukrainian side. Oh, what a strong spike by Vichenko.
You have no chance if you cannot place your second block.
Oh, what a strong serve again. Luckily, the Bucks could break it with the block. Good fight at the net.
What you see also in sitting volleyball more than in standing volleyball is that you may have the setter on the left side, and instead of making the setter go to the position 2, it stays at 4, and you do the setting from the position 4.
That's already the expert level of sitting volleyball for setters. But yeah, there are a lot of tactical adjustments that they do regarding the movements that are more difficult on a sitting volleyball court. Point for KYIV, Ukraine. It's a lifting called. 21 for KYIV, 14 for the Bucks.
Good reception. Oh. Okay, so the Bucks will be serving.
(22) for KYIV, 15 for the Bucks. Kevin Tan reception. Richardson the back set. And this ball doesn't go over the net level. The block did not touch it. That's faux touch on the British side. And KYIV is only 2 points away from winning this second set. Good block out found by Ben Hall. One of the best players on court for the Bucks for the moment. Good serve. Vichenko for the set. Oh, what a great spike on the line, Kharlamov. And this will be a first set point for KYIV in the second one, 24-17. Kharlamov, strong one. and the reception is not able to control it. 25-17. And this is how Kyiv is leading 2-0 in this first game of the Silver EuroLeague. And one word on the partners of Paravolley Europe, managed sport for the management of all competitions across Europe, both club and national team competitions. And the two teams are back on court for set number 3 with a substitution. You called it, Sofia. We should take Colin Goodbrand out of the court. It's done. He will not start this third set for the Bucks. He was struggling in reception, but also because Kyiv is serving really strong and they were absolutely aiming at him at all points.
Exactly, and that is hard when you're a player and you are the target and you keep trying, Yeah, it's a difficult one. So we'll see that, but yeah. I think it's a very good game to start the competition.
Yeah, for the Bucks, it's not the easiest one, maybe. And the first point of this third set is for Ukraine. And a good server is here, Kharlamov. The reception is struggling on his first serve. What kind of damage is he doing when he's serving? Another great serve by number 17 from Kyiv. And this one is just under the net level. Point is for the Bucks. Robert Richardson, one of the setter from this British side, and that's an ace for him. Great swing, misjudged by Drapak. He thought this one would be long. He changed a bit the angle. This serve was too long. Not enough control by Stephen Smith. Oh, we did not mention the head coach from this back side is now sitting on the court. He came in for the third set.
That's a difficult one. It's also always hard to coach and play.
Yeah, it's not easy to make the right decision in terms of coaching when you also have to focus on your player role. But that's the decision the Bucks made, to have one playing coach. John Munro, blocked by Bitchenko. Easy right-hand move just to block it with one hand. How easy does it look? Kevin Tan faked the set. There's a good dig on the Ukrainian side. Drop back.
Fast ball.
Oh, miscommunication between Kalamov and Bitchenko. Nobody was really ready to play that one. Good fight by Kevin Tan.
So you see the setter in position 5 on the Ukrainian team.
Ooh, just a bit long. The spike from Ben Hall.
They are waiting for him. They are waiting for him. They know it will come to position 4. And the Ukrainian team, the Ukrainian blockers are waiting for him. Okay, we try from the middle in the back.
As it stands,
Wonderful line.
96 and now 10-6 for KYIV Ukraine. Forget about the scoreboard you currently see on your screen. KYIV is leading by 4, 10-6. Bitchenko.
Number 5 is suffering now.
Yeah, and I will try to adapt in reception with 4 receivers in the line, and he is still the target.
Bitchenko, yeah, when he has a target, he doesn't miss it.
And look at this movement. John Munro is requesting the timeout on court as a captain, because there is no head coach on the bench. It's the captains to ask the timeout. That's always very funny to see this, that the captain comes into play, but he's not the guy asking for a timeout, it's the captain. 13-6 for Kiev in this third one. Well, as in the 2 first for the moment, the Ukrainian players are just stronger, serving better, and always finding solutions when they have good sets at the net.
Yeah, we see they are testing things. They are. Yeah. It's a very beautiful team to watch.
Yeah, and imagine that this team, I mean the Ukrainian team, only finished 7th at the last Paralympics, and there is a big gap between Ukraine and the top 3 teams in the world.
It's fantastic to have them here in Lyon, to be able to see such a great teams already.
Yeah, and we also see the team from Bosnia and Herzegovina, from Sarajevo, composed with, well,
Finalists.
a lot of players, who finished runner-up at the Paralympics, having silver around the neck. So we made substitution. There is some discussion. So Sikalski is coming back in for Andriy Prishchepa.
Some changes in the reception scheme of the Bucks. They now just put 2 blockers in front of number 5 there.
We're checking at the scorers table if everything is fine with this substitution that was called by Ukraine, but apparently not allowed. Here we are, Bichenko, 13 for Kiev, 6 for the Bucks. And that's an ace, an area where no one was sitting.
No block there, so there might be a challenge of VS1, you know, on the court. That might be why.
Yeah, but they did the same change now. Substitution is exactly the same. Well, anyway, Prishchepa is in. I mean, Kiev team has enough of VS1. They only have 2 guys not classified as VS1. It's Ivan Podik, number 6, and Mark Primakov, number 7, and only Primakov is on the court. So they are absolutely fine with it. And this one is in for Richardson. The point is for the Bucks. Kevin Tan. Oh, strong one. It was just under the net level.
Too many fault also on the serve from the backside.
Good contest at the net, and this block fight is won by Ukraine. A new substitution coming from a team from Kiev. Nazar Timoshko comes in for Roman Prishchepa. With some more school kids entering here the sports hall to come and watch the action of this first day of Silver EuroLeague.
Bit of confusion here.
$17 for Kiev, 8 for the sitting Bucks. Good block one more time by the Ukrainian side on Robert Richardson. He's spiking in position 4 now, but he's the setter of this side. And on court number 2, the second set is just over now, with the team from Sarajevo leading 2-0 against Belgrade. We will see Belgrade later today on court number 1 against the home team from Lyon. Sarajevo will play their first game today on court number 2, and you can follow the action on the YouTube channel of Paravolley Europe. Of course, the entire action of this weekend here in Lyon is for you. Drop back 20 for Kiev, 9 for the Bucks. Alamov, this swing is in the antenna for Primakov. And a new substitution with Yevgeny Savchenko coming in.
Third, fourth change.
Could be,
Kiev.
yeah. He is the youngest player of this Ukrainian side, born in 2003. And he was the target in reception, but this serve is out. Harlamov. Kevin Tan, good reception.
Yeah.
Richardson from Munro, and he finds the solution in between the two blockers. And as it stands, 21 for Kyiv, 11 for the Bucks. Twelfth point for the British side, and Robert Richardson is the next to serve. Good reception once again. Bichenko, good swing. That's a 22nd point for Kyiv now. A 10 points lead for the players from Surrey off Charuk. The net fault whistled against John Munro. Reception is a bit low one more time. And this will be a first match point for Kyiv in this opening game. 24-12 in this third set. They're leading 2 sets to 0. Is it in?
Oh, no,
just out. The first match point is saved. Amin is not concluded by Kyiv. And a bit of pressure on John Munro if he wants to fight back for his team. Strong one, but too long. And this is a first victory for Kyiv in the Silver EuroLeague. 3 sets to 0 against the Bucks, with almost 3 times the same scenario, like an early lead with very good servers on the Ukrainian side. And it's a well-deserved victory for the men in yellow.
Yeah, definitely. We saw at the second set that the Bucks tried to adapt, and they were able to reach 19 points. So, yeah, they need to make less mistakes at serve, because they found solution in the front while spiking, and also with the 2 lines, the attacking on the back, they also found solutions. So I think the challenge is more on the defense side, reception and the serving.
Yeah, this first victory in this game is for Kyiv versus the Bucks. 3 sets to 0. The second game on this court number 1 will be at 3:30. We have 1 hour and 30 to prepare it. It will be between 2 teams that haven't played yet, Parma from Italy and Azul Lyon. We're currently having the game on court number 2. Speed Sarajevo against Ajoka Borac Beograd. A game that you can follow on the dedicated channel, and we just have this quick switch to see that Sarajevo is leading 2 sets to 0 and 6 points to 0 in the third set. It's also a one-direction game for the moment between Sarajevo and Beograd. We'll see these 2 teams later. We'll be back here on court number 1 just before 3:30 for the game between Parma and Azul.
The MVP of the match,